She points straight at my daughter. There she is. The vandal. Step away from her. Hand over the child. Lily freezes mid-wrench like she's about to be arrested for first-degree bike maintenance. I stand up slow, wipe my hands on a rag. Sorry? Hand over what? The back doors of the Tahoe burst open. Two guys climb out wearing navy shirts with HOA security, printed in a font that looks like it came free with Windows 98. Their plastic badges swing like they were glued on during a lunch break. One of them announces, "We're detaining your daughter for destruction of community property." I blink. We don't have a community. Karen 2.0 jabs a finger toward the road. That streetlight is HOA property. It was working yesterday until your brat damaged it. That streetlight hasn't worked since Obama's first term, I say. She ignores me the same way toddlers ignore bedtime. The shorter fake cop pulls out a clipboard like it's a weapon. Protocol says we remove the minor for questioning. Lily's eyes go wide. She scoots behind me and holds my pant leg. Daddy, they can't take me, right? And that's the moment everything inside me shifts. That cold, steady click. The old training waking up in my blood. See, I don't go around advertising it. But I spent 15 years as a Navy SEAL. Overseas. Bad places. Worse people. I know the look of someone bluffing power. These three, they were trembling cowards with prop badges. I step slightly sideways, just enough to shield Lily without looking aggressive. Before we get started, I've got a quick question for you. Tell us which beautiful country you tuned in from and what time it is. I'd love to know. All right, so here's how this circus started. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more real-life HOA confrontations. Karen stomps closer, chin lifted like she's leading a parade. Move, or I'll call the sheriff and report you for impeding an HOA operation. There is no HOA here, I say. Not my problem, she snaps. Boys, take the girl. Both men start toward Lily with that smug, slow walk people do when they've never been punched in their life. I drop my voice to a calm, dangerous level. Before you touch my daughter, look at my feet. They stop. Confused, they look down. I'm standing dead center in the narrow driveway entry, the only path between them and their vehicle. Unless they wanted to tackle a barbed wire fence or reverse half a football field, I controlled their exit. They didn't know enough about combat to understand how screwed they were. Fake cop number 2 licks his lips. Karen rolls her eyes. Stop playing tough guy, Mr. Mechanic. Move. I don't move. What's the legal code for HOA detainment of a minor? Ask. Blank. Confused. Sweating. They stare at each other like I just asked them to explain rocket science. Karen decides to escalate. She whips out her phone and starts recording like she's starring in a courtroom drama livestream. Perfect. I'll show the sheriff how you threatened HOA officers. Lily squeezes my hand. I can feel how scared she is. That fear. Yeah, that nearly flips my switch. But I keep my voice steady. Stay behind me, sweetheart. Nobody's touching you. Karen marches toward the broken streetlight like she's inspecting murder evidence. This brat broke this. And you think Seal Daddy over here makes you immune? Cute. That's my land, I say, pointing calmly. Bought by my father 25 years ago. And this whole road? County property. She laughs. A sharp, ugly sound that could melt vinyl. Not anymore. HOA expanded jurisdiction last winter. I reach into my back pocket, pull out a laminated copy of my deed, unfold it slow, and hold it in the air. This land. Her smile drops so fast it leaves skid marks. The fake cops lean in, squinting like reading hurts. Before Karen can answer, a car door slams across the yard. My neighbor Walt limps out, holding his phone recording high like a damn trophy. I got all of it, he yells. Including your goons trying to snatch a kid. Karen screeches. You cannot record HOA security operations. Walt grins. Sweetheart, you're trespassing on county land. And those two are impersonating law enforcement. I already ran the plates. Fake cop number 1 starts inching back toward the Tahoe. Fake cop number 2 reaches for his belt. Not for a weapon, but for the universal sign of, We're about to do something incredibly stupid. I step forward, blocking them completely. Before you dig this hole deeper, I say, locking eyes with both of them, you should know exactly who you're dealing with. Fake cop number 1 snorts. Yeah? And who are you? I stare through him. Navy SEAL. Retired. And son, I've dealt with real threats. You 3 aren't even good at pretending. His face drains. Karen gasps. Lily tightens her grip. And that's when fate decides to spice things up. A sheriff's cruiser rolls in behind the Tahoe. No sirens. No drama. Just quiet confidence. Deputy Ramirez steps out, sunglasses on, watching the fake cops like a hawk. Funny, he says. We got a call about 2 men impersonating officers in this area. Karen panics instantly. No, they're with the HOA. We were detaining his daughter. Ramirez raises an eyebrow. Ma'am, there is no HOA jurisdiction on this road. The fake cops bolt. They make it 1 step. The second those 2 fake HOA wannabes pivoted to run, their entire plan collapsed faster than my patience on a Monday morning. Fake cop number 1 bolted toward the Tahoe like he thought he was in an action movie. Spoiler alert, he wasn't. He tripped on a piece of gravel, windmilled his arms, and face-planted so hard the dirt probably filed a complaint. Fake cop number 2 made it 3 steps before Deputy Ramirez shouted, "Stop! Hands up!" Of course, the idiot didn't stop. He sprinted like a man running from child support. Bad idea. Ramirez tackled him with that bored, practiced ease cops develop from arresting the same type of stupid people for years. The guy hit the ground like a trash bag tossed off a balcony. Karen shrieked. No, they're HOA officers. You can't arrest them without corporate approval. I swear, I felt a blood vessel in my forehead consider quitting. Ramirez cuffed both men and dragged them upright while they whined like toddlers denied juice boxes. Karen ran up, waving her clipboard like it was diplomatic immunity. You can't arrest HOA security. I have authority. We're expanding territory. Ramirez stared at her like she just confessed to eating batteries. Ma'am, he said, slow enough for her 1 functioning brain cell. These men are wearing fake badges. They aren't registered under any HOA. They aren't licensed security. And they sure as hell don't have the right to detain a child. Her jaw dropped. That's not possible. They told me. Yeah, they lied, I said, crossing my arms. Shocking, I know. Lily tugged on my shirt. Daddy, are they going to jail? Yep, I said, keeping my eyes on the chaos. They're about to get matching bracelets. Walt cackled from behind us. I'm posting the video tonight. Hashtag HOA Houdinis. Karen spun toward Walt. Delete that video. You're interfering with security operations. Lady, Walt said. The only operation here is your meltdown. Ramirez turned to her. Ma'am, I'm going to need your ID. She stiffened. Am I being detained? You're involved in an attempted kidnapping, he said bluntly. So yeah, you're being detained. Karen gasped so hard I thought she sucked in an entire oxygen tank. She pointed at me with a trembling hand. He threatened us. He assaulted my authority. I blinked. Your authority? Over what? The air. That child broke HOA property, she screamed. That child, I said, is on MY land, which is not, has never been, and will never be in your HOA. But the street light is county property, Ramirez cut in, and it's been broken since last year. We documented it. So unless your HOA somehow governs the entire county, please stop talking. She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. My favorite sound in months. But just when I thought the situation was finally winding down, Ramirez frowned. He touched his earpiece, listening. Say again, he said, pausing. Wait. Seriously? He lowered his hand slowly. Eyes flicked toward me. Something wasn't right. What's going on? I asked. Ramirez sighed. We might have a bigger issue. Dispatch is saying these 2-inch, he jerked a thumb at the fake cops, aren't just impersonators. They're tied to a private enforcement group running scams across 3 counties. Great. A traveling circus of stupidity. Karen froze. Wait, what? They target isolated homes, Ramirez continued. Claim HOA jurisdiction, then intimidate owners into paying fines or surrendering access rights. Sometimes they try to seize kids or pets as evidence. Lily's small hand slipped into mine. I felt that familiar pressure in my chest, the one that used to hit right before I'd breach a door overseas. Karen started pacing like a broken Roomba. But they told me they were certified. They said they were helping me enforce HOA expansion policies. Ramirez snapped his notebook shut. Expansion policies into land you don't own? Did you even check? They said. Yeah, I muttered. We heard. But here's the thing. Scams don't fall from the sky. They pick a target. A house, family, property. And a question started ticking in my head like a loose detonator. Why my land? Why today? How'd they even know where to show up? I scanned the Tahoe. The vehicle was dusty, cheap tint peeling, no official decals. But the license plate, that bothered me. Not because I recognized it, but because it had been recorded before. Walt limped closer. You see it too, don't ya? What? I asked. That plate's been by here before. I saw it 3 times last month near the creek. That creek wasn't just a creek. It was the boundary line. And my property held something a lot of shady corporations would love to get their grubby hands on. Water rights. Valuable ones. Ramirez noticed my expression. Something on your mind? Yeah, I said quietly. Someone's after my land. Even Karen stopped to look at me. I walked up to the Tahoe and rested my hand on the hood. Seal instincts humming. Something was off. Too off. This wasn't random. Let me check something, I said. Ramirez hesitated. You know you're not supposed to. But I already popped the driver door. The inside smelled like stale gum and desperation. But the glove compartment? Stuffed. With maps, property lists, coordinates, names, lots of names. Karen stepped forward nervously. Is my name in there? I didn't answer. Instead, I pulled out a thick folder labeled Acquisition Targets, Phase 2. And right there, top of the list, circled in red Sharpie like a damn prize, my property. Everything in me went still, cold, sharp. Ramirez, I said, voice dropping. We've got a serious problem. He looked over the folder, eyes widening. This isn't a scam. This is organized land theft. Karen stuttered. I didn't know. Yeah, I said. But you helped them. Ramirez inhaled slowly. We're gonna need backup. He reached for his radio. But before he could speak, a loud engine roared in the distance. Not from the road. From deeper inside the woods. Behind my land. Ramirez tensed. Walt stopped laughing. Lily squeezed my hand tighter. I stared at the treeline. Because I knew that sound. That wasn't a car. That wasn't a truck. That was the sound of an ATV convoy. Heading straight toward us. And whatever was coming, it wasn't friendly. The first ATV cracked through the trees like a pissed-off bull. Then another. And another. Within seconds my entire treeline started vibrating like a Jurassic Park scene. Engines growling, branches snapping, tires ripping through brush. Lily jumped behind me so fast she nearly tackled my leg. Walt muttered, "Ah hell! This ain't Girl Scouts." Deputy Ramirez squared his shoulders. Everyone stay behind me. I didn't move. Not because I was trying to be macho, because I recognized that hum. A coordinated engine stagger. That heavy weight in the RPMs. Not teenagers. Not hunters. This was a group. Trained enough to move together. And they were heading straight toward MY Yard. The ATVs burst out of the woods in a spray of dirt and leaves. 5 of them matte black, no plates, no markings. Each driver wearing the same dark gray tactical vests the fake HOA cops had. Karen screamed. Holy crap. Those are the supervisors. Those are the real HOA security. I side-eyed her. Lady, if those are HOA, then I'm the Tooth Fairy. The lead ATV stopped right in front of me, kicking up a cloud of dust. The man on it stepped off, tall, built, shaved head. Aviators. He had the swagger of someone who thinks fear is a personality trait. He looked at the two fake cops Ramirez had cuffed and shook his head like a disappointed gym coach. "You idiots," he growled. "You weren't supposed to act until we gave the signal." Ramirez stepped forward. "Sir, stay where you are. Identify yourself." The man ignored him completely and pointed at me. You're the property owner." I didn't answer. I just stared at him. He took one confident step closer, too confident for someone facing a sheriff and a retired SEAL. "We'll make this simple," he said. "Hand over the folder you found in our vehicle. Sign the acquisition agreement. And we'll consider today a misunderstanding." "Misunderstanding?" Walt barked. "You psychos tried to kidnap a kid." The man finally glanced at Walt. "And who the hell are you?" Walt grinned. "Guy who pays attention." The leader waved at the folder I'd tucked under my arm. "Last chance. Hand it over. That land is going to be HOA jurisdiction." I raised an eyebrow. "Buddy, there is no HOA jurisdiction here. This is county land." "Not for long," he said smoothly. "We bought out the board last month. Annexation paperwork is done. Your subdivision? It's ours." I laughed once. Sharp, humorless. "Subdivision? This is farmland." "Was farmland," he corrected. "Until our investors realized the aquifer under your property is worth millions. Congratulations, you're sitting on the new HOA lake." Lily gripped my hand hard. "Daddy, a lake? They want our water," I said quietly. Ramirez's jaw clenched. "Sir, you're describing illegal annexation. Step back and put your hands on the." The leader snapped his fingers. The 4 other ATV riders spread out, forming a half-circle around us. Tactical posture, blocking exits, cutting off angles. Ramirez's hand hovered near his holster. I lifted my voice just enough for him to hear. "Ramirez, don't draw unless you have to." He swallowed. "This is way above HOA nonsense." "No kidding." Karen, still handcuffed but somehow delusional, sputtered. "This can't be happening. You told me I was part of the expansion board." "You said." The leader cut her off. "You were a useful distraction. That's all." Her face dropped like she'd been slapped. "Useful?" she whispered. I thought I was helping the neighborhood." "You don't have a neighborhood," I said. "They played you." He smirked. "We play everyone. Most people fold when they hear the word HOA. Yeah, well, they picked the wrong dad." I shifted Lily behind me and stepped forward. "Here's my last offer," the leader said. "Hand over the folder and leave the property quietly. We won't come after your kid." That did it. A switch inside me clicked. The same switch that flipped in Afghanistan, Syria, everywhere hell tried to recruit me. The one that activated when someone threatened family. I dropped my voice so calm it felt like cold steel. "You picked the wrong child." The leader scoffed. "You really think one man can stop all of us?" "Not one man." I nodded toward Ramirez. "One man, a deputy, and a neighbor with a cane he's not afraid to swing." Walt raised the cane like a medieval knight. "This baby's put down bigger idiots than you." But the leader wasn't stupid. He saw the sheriff cruiser. He saw my stance. He saw my eyes. Steady, calculating, unblinking. He realized I wasn't posturing. I was assessing. And SEAL assessments end only one way. He changed tactics. "Fine," he said. "No paperwork. No signatures. We'll just take the kid and force compliance the way we usually do." Lily gasped and clung to my side. Ramirez shouted, "Don't you move!" But the leader raised his hand and his men started advancing. 3 toward me. 1 toward Lily directly. 1 trying to flank Ramirez. I stepped in front of Lily fully. "Get behind the cruiser!" I barked. "Got her," Walt said, grabbing her arm and hobbling fast. Ramirez drew his weapon. "Tactical enforcement group," the leader yelled. "Proceed with seizure." The hell he did. The first guy rushed me, hands out like he thought strength could beat training. I sidestepped, grabbed his wrist, and flipped him into the gravel so fast he probably saw Jesus. Second guy swung at me, a wild, untrained punch. I blocked, grabbed his collar, and dragged him straight into the dirt. Third lunged with a baton. I ducked low, swept his legs, and he hit the ground with a grunt that sounded like a dying lawn mower. Ramirez tackled the flanker. Walt, God bless him, cracked the last guy across the knee with his cane. The man screamed and fell like a folding chair. The leader backed up fast, suddenly not half as brave. "You're insane," he yelled. "You're escalating a legal HOA enforcement action." "There is no enforcement action," Ramirez yelled back. "You're trespassing, impersonating authority, running a land theft ring, and assaulting a child." The leader jumped on his ATV. "You're gonna regret this." He revved the engine, and I stepped directly in front of him. He froze, because one look told him everything he needed to know. If he tried to run me down, he wouldn't make it 5 feet. He backed up instead, spinning the ATV and disappearing into the woods like a coward who just poked the wrong bear. I exhaled slowly. Lily sprinted to me and hugged me so tight my ribs popped. But even as I held her, my eyes drifted toward the folder. That map, those names, my land circled in red. This wasn't over. It wasn't even close. Because if they were willing to send fake cops and a damn tactical HOA strike team, by sunrise, my driveway looked like a war memorial to stupidity. Karen's Tahoe was gone. Ramirez had hauled the 2 fake officers to the station. Walt promised he'd upload the footage by morning. And Lily, after a cup of hot chocolate and 3 marshmallows, finally fell asleep on the couch. But me, I didn't sleep, because something was wrong. Not just Karen's lunacy, not just the fake cops, not even the attempted snatch and grab. Something else, a detail I couldn't shake. Karen said, operations, plural. That meant today wasn't some random tantrum. She'd planned something, and people like her, petty tyrants with clipboards, always escalate when they lose. Around 6 a.m., I'm sitting on the porch with coffee when Walt limps over, half awake, holding his phone like a holy relic. "Bro, you need to see this." He taps the screen. A video plays. Karen, last night, pacing in her driveway while yelling into her phone. If he thinks he can assault HOA security, take his land, and mock me, he doesn't know who he's dealing with. Operation Compliance resumes at exactly 3. Bring everyone. Walt lowers the phone. "You pissed her off bad." I sip my coffee. "Good." "No, man, you don't understand." Karen called reinforcements. "Reinforcements?" I repeat. "Like, more fake cops?" He nods. "Like, 18. I grin. "Cute." Walt squints at me. "You're not worried?" "I fought insurgents with actual training," I say. "Karen's army is probably armed with clipboards and expired pepper spray." Walt stares at me like he's trying to decide whether to laugh or pray. "Man, they're crazy, not dangerous. Crazy is unpredictable." He wasn't wrong. Crazy is worse than trained. Crazy doesn't follow patterns. Crazy doesn't think about consequences. Crazy tries things. And Karen? She was Olympic-level crazy. I glance at Lily sleeping through the window, and my blood simmers. No one was showing up at 3 p.m. to scare her again. Not while I was breathing. 3 p.m. The HOA arrives. I'm tightening the last bolt on my front gate when I hear it. Engines. Multiple. Loud. Close. I look up the road, and it's so absurd I almost laugh. 4 SUVs. A minivan with paper plates. A Toyota Corolla with HOA enforcement, written in chalk on the door. 2 golf carts on a trailer. And I swear, a guy on a Segway wearing aviators and Crocs. Walt whistles behind me. "Oh, they brought the full circus." Karen steps out of the lead SUV like she's being introduced at a WWE event. Pink visor. Clipboard. Attitude lethal enough to qualify as a weapon. Behind her are 18 adults in matching homemade vests with HOA Security Division, written in glitter glue. One guy even has a tactical fanny pack. I close my gate, lean on it casually, and wait. Karen marches straight up. "Move the gate, Seal Daddy." "No." She slaps her clipboard like she's smashing a gavel. This community is now under Administrative Emergency Order Section 12. There is no community, I remind her. Not anymore, she snaps. We voted this morning to annex your road into the HOA. You can't annex land that isn't yours. She smirks. Watch us. Behind her, a man lifts a megaphone taped to a broom handle. Property owner, you are now in violation of Article 4. Non-cooperation with HOA officials. Karen points at my house. We are here, she announces dramatically, to execute Operation Compliance. I laugh, out loud. Can't help it. She turns red like a cartoon villain. You think we're playing, huh? You assaulted my officers yesterday. You resisted inspection. Your daughter vandalized community property. We have full authority today. The Hoopty tactical squad behind her nods like bobbleheads in a car accident. I cross my arms. Touch my daughter, my house, or my fence, and you'll need more than glitter vests. She pulls out her phone. I'm live streaming this. Thousands of HOA members across the country are watching. I shrug. I hope they brought snacks. She raises her hand dramatically. HOA security. Advance. And they do. All 18 of them march forward in a crooked line like drunk mall cops. One trips over a weed. Two can't walk in sync. One guy drops his clipboard and acts like he was attacked. This is what was coming for my kid. I almost felt insulted. Almost. But then I see Lily watching from the living room window. Her little face. Her little hands pressed on the glass. Fear. And the smile leaves my face instantly. The line is crossed. A man with an orange vest steps forward. Open the gate or we'll force access. No, you won't. Karen shouts. Cut the lock. Before I can respond, a guy with kitchen scissors, squeezes through the bars of the gate like he's in a spy movie and starts snipping wildly at the chain. The scissors bend. Snap. He yelps. Karen screams at another guy. You. Use your multi-tool. He jogs forward like he's about to disable a bomb. Before he can touch my lock, I raise my hand. That's enough. I step forward, slow, controlled, deliberate. The man freezes. Karen shouts. Proceed. That's an order. But he doesn't move. He can't. I'm inches from him, staring directly into his eyes. Move that tool one more inch, I say quietly, and I take it from you. The entire HOA army goes silent. Karen shrieks. He's threatening us. He's out of control. But they all see it. Not anger. Not yelling. Just controlled, cold stillness. The kind only comes from training. And then the universe adds gasoline to this dumpster fire. Down the road. Sirens. Lights. But not Ramirez. 3 sheriff cruisers. Backup. And they're moving fast. Karen spins around. Perfect. They're here to help us. Oh, sweetheart. No, they weren't. The cruisers skid to a stop behind the HOA convoy. Deputy Ramirez steps out first. Then Sheriff Douglas himself. He points at Karen's group. You 18, drop your fake badges, step away from the gate, and line up. Now. Karen shrieks. What? Do your job and arrest him. Douglas steps toward her. Our job is to stop a mob attempting a coordinated break-in on private property. Her mouth drops open like her brain crashed. Then her face twists in pure rage. This isn't over, she screeches. Douglas looks at me. It actually is. For them. But he's wrong. Because in Karen's eyes, this was only the beginning. After the sheriff's cruisers dragged off the glitter-vested disaster squad earlier that day, I honestly hoped that was the end. I really did. But people like Karen don't accept defeat. They marinate in it until it mutates into something toxic. Lily was exhausted by evening. All fake cops and HOA chaos and adult stupidity draining the joy from a 10-year-old who just wanted to fix her pink bike. She fell asleep on the couch halfway through our movie. Head on my arm, popcorn on her shirt. I carried her to bed, kissed her forehead, and told her she was safe. Then I sat by the window watching the tree line, knowing damn well safety wasn't guaranteed until Karen was out of the picture for good. At 9 p.m., my phone pinged. Walt, she's online again. She's losing her mind. I open the link and there she is, live streaming from her kitchen, mascara streaks like war paint, visor still on like she sleeps in it. Her stream title, Operation Retribution, begins tonight. I mutter, oh hell no. She's ranting at 300 viewers and dropping threats like confetti. The HOA will take back control of this community. That Navy SEAL thinks he can scare US. Not tonight. Her chat is roasting her alive. Karen, it's a child you tried to take. Go to bed, ma'am. Navy SEAL versus HOA? Girl, what outcome you expected? She off her meds for real. Then she says it. We move out in 1 hour. I stand up and grab my boots. This wasn't going to end with a Facebook meltdown. She was planning something bigger, stupider, and probably illegal. 9:40 p.m. Trouble arrives. The woods go quiet. Too quiet. Then I hear tires crunching gravel. Slow. Heavy. Purposeful. I step onto the porch. 3 vehicles roll up without headlights. Karen's Tahoe, a sketchy gray van, and a sedan packed like a clown car with angry PDA energy. They stop at the end of my driveway. Doors fling open. A small army piles out. I'm talking men with flashlights, women with crowbars, a dude in cargo shorts holding a bolt cutter the size of a boat anchor, 2 guys in neon HOA patrol shirts, I assume printed last minute. Karen emerges last, arms raised like she's about to lead a cult into battle. Team, we take back our community tonight. Someone yells, for the HOA. Someone else yells, freedom. Someone else yells, where's the bathroom? This chaos wrapped in stupidity dipped in delusion. They move on the gate. Bolt cutter guy approaches the gate like he's disabling a nuclear device. Cut it, Karen orders. We're taking control of his land. I step forward from the shadows. Don't. 20 flashlights swing my way. Karen screams like she just spotted Bigfoot. He's armed. I'm literally holding a flashlight and wearing socks. Leather vest guy points at me like I'm an alien. You stole HOA property. We're repossessing. I laugh. You can't repossess something I own. Camo Pants screams. The HOA owns all land within 1 mile of the community. That's not how land or miles work. Karen jabs her finger at me, shaking with rage. You think because you're a Navy SEAL that normal citizens can't fight back. You intimidated US all day. I shrug. I didn't even raise my voice. That's intimidation too. Before I can reply, headlights explode through the trees behind them. Multiple sets. Fast. Coming in hot. 5 sheriff cruisers. No sirens. Just fury. They screech to a stop, blocking Karen's convoy. Deputies jump out. Hands on holsters. Faces locked. Done with her nonsense. Sheriff Douglas shouts. Everyone drop the tools and put your hands up. Now. Bolt cutter guy drops the cutter so fast it bounces. Leather vest throws his flashlight straight into the woods. Karen freezes, eyes wide, looking like a toddler caught stealing cake. She points at me, screaming, he's a monster. He's a Navy SEAL. You can't let him win. Douglas doesn't even look at me. Ma'am, you organized an armed group to storm private property at night. You're going to jail. She starts sobbing. You don't understand. He's too trained. He's too strong. How are we supposed to overpower a Navy SEAL? Deputy Ramirez mutters under his breath. That's kind of the point. Karen collapses to her knees like a defeated Disney villain. Her little HOA army surrenders instantly. Crowbars dropped. Flashlights on the ground. Bolt cutters surrendered like nukes. Deputies cuff every single one of them. Karen thrashes like a fish in a bucket. This isn't fair. The HOA always wins. This community needs me. Walt shows up across the road, recording with popcorn. Karen, sweetheart, you are not the community. They load her into the cruiser. She screams through the window. I'll appeal this to the state. You'll all regret this. The HOA never loses. The door slams. Silence settles. Real silence this time. The resolution. Ramirez walks over to me. You good? I nod. Yeah. I just want my kid to sleep without a war outside. He sighs. Judge is issuing restraining orders on all of them. And Karen, she's facing a stack of charges. This won't happen again. I look toward the house where Lily sleeps peacefully. Good, I say quietly. My daughter deserves normal. Ramirez pats my shoulder. You handled this better than most. And worse than any fake HOA cop ever expected. The cruisers pull away, dust trailing behind. Walt walks over, shakes his head. You know, he says, for someone who doesn't believe in HOA authority, she sure tried to build an empire. I chuckle. Empires fall. He nods. Especially stupid ones. Final moral. When I walk back inside, Lily's bedroom light clicks on. She rubs her eyes. Daddy, everything okay? I kneel beside her bed. It is now. You protected me? I kiss her forehead. Always. She smiles and curls back into her blanket. Outside, the night is calm again. Not because the world is safe. Not because people are sane. But because some battles aren't about strength. Or rage. Or revenge. They're about one thing. Protecting the people you love. No matter how ridiculous the enemy is. And that night, the stupidest enemy I'd ever faced finally learned. You don't mess with a Navy SEAL's kid. Not on my land. Not in this lifetime.